the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. A very busy and exciting 3-hour program lined up among our guests. Pro bettor Paul Stone in an hour. His best bets this weekend, starting tonight. College football title games, Drew Butler on Georgia, Texas, and whatever else he likes as well. And VSiN host Mike Somich a little bit later on with his best bets with player props in the National Football League. I think we have to start a little bit with what took place last night, because that was a great game, Paul. I mean, Amazon Prime got their money's worth last night. That was really exciting, the way it played out over 3+ hours. And to me, that was like the equivalent of a person paying a lot of money to go see their favorite band, and they take you on a 3-hour ride, and you don't know where it's going to go, but at the end of the night, you're super happy. That was the full Dan Campbell experience last night.
You went to Metallica, and they played Orion.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
And they played for 2.5 hours like they usually do. Absolutely. That was awesome. And just a dynamite game, plus the finish. Plus he's walking around with the sack and the wheelbarrow. You know, Sam Cassell. He is just he's a gangster, and I love it. And we'll hear from him coming up. Maybe the biggest surprise of the night was Reed didn't have a catch. But this is so good that they just find a way to get it done. And can they hang on to this 1 seed now? But it was incredible football.
Okay, so let's have a discussion here about the fourth downs overall. And I'll set the scene here. On the year, the Lions are 15 of 22 going for it on fourth down. That's 68.2%. That is the 6th best mark in the NFL. The 22 attempts, only tied for the 6th most. The Browns have gone for it 30 times. 15 conversions are 4th most. So last night, did you have a problem at all going for it on 4th and goal at the Green Bay 2, 14 seconds left before the half? They had a 10-7 lead, but the Packers were getting the ball at the halftime to begin the second half. Do you think they should have kicked the field goal to go up 13-7?
If I'm not Detroit and it's not Ben Johnson, but they know what they're doing, they had the play ready to go. That's I'm okay with.
And they bled the clock. That was a masterpiece at the end of the first half last night. So the Packers could not get the ball back.
Yeah.
Now, I'm okay either way. In fact, if they would have kicked the field goal at the half to go up 13-7 because they're not getting the ball back, okay, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
Because I think you maybe want to put points on the board at that point regardless, but you're right, Ben Johnson I think is probably trustworthy more than anybody else. 4th and 1 at their own 49, 9:05 left in the third quarter. They trailed 21-7. That was the Goff sneak. Did you like that?
I have no problem with that one. That's to me, that's easy.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I'm
anything 4th and short there, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. And they need to utilize the sneak more.
That's what I thought last night.
Which they did not do on the final possession.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the decision from the 31.
So that was the same drive. No, check that. That was the one a little bit later on. Go ahead.
But I meant, yeah.
Yep.
4th and 1 from the 31. That's where they ran a crap play. Don't give the defense a chance there and go with the pitch. I like the one play they ran where they handed it off to St. Brown, and you faked a quick out. That's where you go quarterback sneak, something there, but the pitch wide is stupid. And I don't like it from the 31-yard line because you handed them 7 points when it doesn't work, okay?
That was the worst one of the night in my opinion.
Yes. That's reckless. And there's a difference between aggressive, playing the odds, doing the right thing, analytics, and being reckless. That's reckless combined with a horrific play call. That will get you beat in January and social media will explode. And then they'll turn on Campbell.
Yep.
And I think it's going to happen.
That decision is what my biggest fear was when I bet this team on several future bets back in the summertime. And I think I wrote about that in the guide. I'm like, I know this is a big gamble because Dan Campbell, there's a good chance like he's going to cost me a game and other people who are betting on them to win the whole thing. That's the decision last night. 4th and 1 at their own 31, the pitch wide to Gibbs that will come back and bite them in the ass in the playoffs because he will do that again. He will do that in whatever round we're talking about here. That could be the NFC title game, maybe against Philadelphia, deep in his own territory with a fake punt. I don't know. That might be the Super Bowl. But he will, rest assured, that's going to come up again before the end of the year.
He might feel the need and compelled to do it because he doesn't trust his defense with all the injuries, too. And he's just going to be going crazy for it, which, if we can pause the discussion, is it time to panic or do we just hold and wait on this defense? I think we still wait and see because Goff gave him 7 points with the interception.
Yeah.
The decision on 4th and 1 gave him 7 points, another 7. And then you can't let Watson get open there on the bomb. So it wasn't bad, but you could argue that they handed him 21 points.
They did. I actually think the defense overall played really well last night. All things considered, they allowed less than, fewer than 300 yards. And they got pressure. I mean, Love had 7 attempts passing. That was it at halftime. 3 completions. And like you said earlier, Reed had 0 catches in the game. Total stunner. Now, the big one that everybody was talking about, and they still are today, 4th and 1. At the end of the game, that was at the Green Bay 21, 43 seconds left. What do you do, hotshot? What do you do? It's a tie ball game. Do you kick it right there? Green Bay's out of timeouts. If you make it, they get the ball back with, give or take, 37, 38 seconds.
This was a no-brainer. I think you got it wrong. Now, if you're Philadelphia, if it's 3rd and inches, you go tush, push, and that's it. Game's over. I don't know why they didn't go quarterback sneak there. You gave Green Bay a chance. They stuffed the run.
Yes.
But right there... And I can't believe former players who played the game can't get this right.
Well, this is the biggest issue that I have with the whole thing.
It's not about the yards. He doesn't want Green Bay to get the ball back. But you kick the field goal there. You go up 3, and you say, okay, Love, you have 30 seconds and no timeouts. If we blow this, that's ridiculous. It can't happen. I know Mahomes. I know what's happened in the past. Baker Mayfield just did it. It's not that difficult, but it shouldn't be done. That's where you have to trust your defense and say, I'm up 3 with 30 seconds. You're on the road. You don't have any timeouts. I need to get a stop and win the game there. To me, it was reckless. I kicked the field goal on 4th down. But it worked. He has onions. He walks it off. Green Bay, it worked to perfection what he did. But that's all about, I don't want to give Green Bay a chance, and we end it with the offense, as he said afterwards.
I know I'm in the minority. I know I am. I loved it, and I knew he was going to go for it. And I cannot believe...
You did? I thought he was going to draw him off sides, just like Michaels did.
And I was paying attention on X at the same time, and just like reading stuff from last night and this morning. I'm stunned at how many people were stunned that Campbell went for it.
Yeah.
It's like, do you not know who he is, and have you not been watching the game? They were going for it deep in their own territory, and I just told you that they went for it at 4th and 1 at their own 31-yard line. Clearly, to me, he was going to go for it. But again, the biggest issue I have is what you briefly touched on there. And even former players are saying, I can't believe he did it only to pick up a couple of more yards to kick the field goal. Are you what? Do you not get it? Clearly, he did it to not give the Packers a single play. Mm-hmm. He didn't want Jordan Love to have the ball back with a second on the clock. That's the reason why he did it. And that's the biggest issue that I have with the whole thing. How do you not understand that?
Right.
That's the process.
This is what I also hate. The people that are just waiting when it goes wrong and just say, whoop, I told you so. Even though what he did led to an additional 7 points, what he did when you look at the numbers and how it worked out. But they're just sitting there where if he doesn't go 10 for 10, if the one time it screws up, it's going to be I told you so.
So what do you make of this now?
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Well, he reopened last night, minus $2 to win Coach of the Year.
Can't be. Because the NFC is madness. And he's got the big game against Buffalo on tap. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But if the Chiefs go 15, 16, and 1, or we win 15, 16 games rather, I mean, come on. What if McDermott's the 1 seed? What if the Bills keep this going?
What if the Bills are 15 and 2?
He can't be $2. They still have to play the Vikings. They might not even win the division. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is unprecedented that you might have 2 wild cards win 12 games, and that could happen. And Minnesota could rip off like a 7-8 game winning streak. So if they beat Buffalo, it's probably locked up. But he can't be $2.
No, there's no way.
But maybe this is why he's $2. This is so good. Why he works. You've talked about it for this city, for that fan base and those players. How good is this with his post-game speech after the game?
I told you you'd never forget this game. You will never forget this game. We don't have to talk about how tough we are. We don't have to talk about how resilient we are. We live it, man. We've been living it. Where's our defense at? Offense, that's the way to step up, man. That's the way to step up. There you go, Skip. Keep throwing up, whatever you're doing over there. You're freaking lay it on the line. Guys, I'm so freaking proud of you, man. That's the way to show up. You talk about pressure, we live in pressure. That's where we freaking thrive. You did it again. You freaking did it again. All right? It doesn't matter who's playing for us. It doesn't matter what's going on. You always find a way to win. That's what champions do. This is not happenstance, man. This doesn't just happen. This has been in the making, man.
Oh, I want to fight you right now.
Oh, my God.
That is so good, right? The skipper guy's, the offensive lineman's throwing up in the bathroom, throwing up right in front of everybody in the garbage can. He, right in the middle of his speech, he pauses. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Come on.
Keep throwing up, Skip.
Yep, right. So there's a lot of people waiting to root against him, and I was completely wrong on this guy, and it's a great story.
Me too.
But, the biting kneecaps and the bizarre press conference, but they're saying what happens when Johnson takes a job, and what does it look like, and you lose his Glenn. But these speeches and this, being the tight end, and he loves Metallica and all this stuff, he works, and they get it, and they'll run through a wall for the guy.
I love the guy.
Yeah, he's the best.
Him.
I know. He's the best. I mean, you just look, that speech is awesome. And his emotion and going crazy, but just don't fake a punt from your own 20.
No kidding. On like 4th and 11. So Derek Stevens, the owner of this property, obviously from Detroit, he named one of his casinos here the D after the city of Detroit. He's got to be able to get Campbell out. Wouldn't you like to go out with that guy? That's my new dream.
Yeah.
I want to go out on the town in Las Vegas with Dan Campbell for one night. That's my new dream.
Well, he starts off with the big boy coffee. What does he say?
What, 2, 3 of them?
Yeah. Puts those down to start his day?
Well, I mean, how many did he have last night during the game?
Yeah.
Or is that him just like natural?
I don't know.
Oh, my God, the energy that he has.
Yeah, 6-pack of Red Bull.
Wow.
Oh, man, good for him. $2 is too high, though.
Yeah, it's too high.
Can't be. Can't do it.
Man, there's a lot more to get into from that game. And also 3 conference title games to bet on tonight in college football. I'll tell you why Boise might struggle with explosive plays in the passing game tonight against UNLV next.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Coming up Friday on Follow the Money, championship week in college football. Picks with Paul Stone, Mike Somich, NFL picks and props, and we recap a great Thursday night game. Follow the Money weekdays, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Want to see who at VSiN is on a hot streak? Go to VSiN.com/picks to see all the selections and weekly leaderboard of VSiN hosts, writers, and guests. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber and get every pick sent to your inbox daily. Just head to VSiN.com/pro.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. One more thing on the game last night. Our buddy Weston, who was in the Friday Football Invitational, doing well, second consecutive year. He's excellent on futures. So good. And he messaged me early in the week. This is probably like Monday, Tuesday. He did a deep dive on Comeback Player of the Year in the NFL, and he threw one name at me. He said, this guy is the perfect example of what the award is about, but he didn't like his number. It was 150-1 at the time, and it was Tim Patrick. And then when Patrick scored the first touchdown last night, I messaged Weston and I go, Welp. And he looked right away, 120-1. I shopped around here in Las Vegas, I put like 3 pepperoni pizzas on Tim Patrick at 120-1 to win Comeback Player of the Year. Then he scored again. You know, he missed 2022 and 2023 both years because of season-ending injuries.
It's a good angle.
It's a terrific angle, and this is the time of year last year when Joe Flacco got hot at 100-1 to win the award.
Yeah.
Patrick today is down to 35-1 at most spots. It makes sense.
Yep.
And he'll have another
Hard to beat that story.
Another marquee game coming up this week against Buffalo. If he can, stay warm here, okay. I thought pizza money was worth it last night.
All right. Are you ready for this? Can you believe it? I can't. This is stunning. This is one of the craziest sports stories I can recall.
You know, Barry Odom said last night, how about this? We should be in this position every single year.
Come on.
That's what he said.
Well, they're staying in the conference. If they throw a lot of money around and they can attract talent. I mean, we've lived here for 24 years. This is one of the worst programs in the country. Every year they would go 2-10. You know, going back 24 years, the average win was 3.8, something like that, how atrocious they've been. Mm-hmm. I know we had San Jose State a couple of years ago win this league at 100-1. But if you win tonight, you're in the playoff. Boise should be in too if they lose, but it's just nonsense with the ESPN and SEC. But the fact that, and this also can point to the system, if Boise wins, they could get maybe the 3 seed. If they lose, they're out entirely. How big is this game? But winner in the playoff, UNLV 50-1 before the season at DraftKings to make the playoff, and we have Boise 5, 6, 7-1 in that range. All on the line here. Can't wait for this one. You got the 1 hour pregame on Fox. Here we go. Genty still a chance, taking money down to 12-1 at DK to win the Heisman. His prop is 172.5 at Caesars. He's 163.5 here at Circa. He's minus 2,500 to score a touchdown.
Wow.
Yes.
Don't you want to bet the no on that?
Yes. It's not offered at Caesars.
It's not okay. That must be up here at Circa. I bet you they have a yes-no on the touchdown prop for him.
Yeah.
If you can get a 10 or 12-1 on him not to score. So they were 4 for 4 on 4th downs in the first game. Boise was out here in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Genty's longest rush.
I like how they played the game, though. We're going to give him the ball 30 times, but he's still going to get 3-4 yards a carry.
Right.
We're going to move the chains. We will be methodical, and we'll still move the sticks, right? Quarterback sneak here, play action. I'll hit the tight end, and it worked. And they won and won the close game and also covered. But again, this is the only team to hold them in check and under 4 yards a carry. But yes,
Adam Burke had a great breakdown. A great breakdown. VSiN.com. You can read it for yourself on the game tonight. But I'll give you some of the nuggets. So Genty's longest rush against UNLV was 16 yards in that game. In the other 11 games, his longest rush was at least 35 yards. Minimum. And he had plenty of runs that were 50, 60, 70 yards in other games. Also, Haj Malik Williams on the year, touchdown to INT ratio, 17-4, and also 9 rushing touchdowns. But here's the thing that really caught my attention. So if they shut down Genty again, and I know that Boise, they were able to overcome that the first time they played. The explosive plays in the passing game, Boise State is tied for 94th.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a big problem.
Yeah, in plays of 20-plus yards and tied for 121st in plays 30-plus yards down the field.
Yep, they gave up a ton to Oregon State. But can Williams take advantage? I think he just wants to look to run too much. I love his rushing yards over 64.5. But that's been a problem. They get after the quarterback. They're top 5 in sacks. But, boy, do they give up big plays. And I think what could decide this, though, number one, can you contain Genty, but also special teams? You know, Matson's a good quarterback, 21-3 touchdown INT ratio. Ricky White, who will play in the NFL and is UNLV star wide receiver, has blocked 4 kicks this year.
That's impressive.
So, and we know what happened against Oregon. Boise outplayed them, but gave up 2 kickoff returns in that game. So, if that happens again, there's a block, there's field goal issues, a kickoff return, in a game like this, in a close game, it's going to get you beat, and your dream season's going to come to an end. I also don't like how they're kind of limping in. And what Brad Powers said yesterday was excellent. You can't really, I don't like to do this with every team because it'll get you can get caught up doing this. But going back to, you did this against this team in the comparison, UNLV dominated San Jose State. Boise didn't. It was misleading score. They were down 14 rip. Boise dominated Nevada. UNLV beat them at home by, UNLV dominated Nevada. Boise beat them by 7 at home. They did not play well against Wyoming. I haven't seen their A game since San Diego State. Complete game performance. I haven't seen their A game in a while. So while it was a great win out here, they may have peaked too soon. And I think the weather helps them out, and Boise always beats them. UNLV hasn't won at Boise since 1976. But I need to see their A game here. And maybe Williams can't take advantage through the air, and that'll be once it happens in the playoff. But it's a tough game, and I agree with the move down to 4.5.
Yeah, based on the futures that we have on Boise to make the playoffs, I have a pretty big parlay that I need them to get in there to cash that thing. I have bet trying to win both bets here. I made a couple of bets so far on UNLV plus 4.5. Westgate offers minus 105, and they were earlier today. I took some of that at Westgate minus 105 on the plus 4.5 with UNLV. I think they can win the game outright, but I'll be live betting this game tonight too, probably, hoping that maybe Boise State can jump on them like 14-0, and then get even a much better number at that point, and add some more on UNLV and hope it's not a runaway.
Right, it's a good test.
You have a good prop though, right?
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to be
a
blowout either way?
I saw largest lead under 17.5.
That's a big number.
I can't imagine. I'd be stunned if that happens. I can't see that.
So we have that game going on. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Tulane's at Army. Tulane's SOS was number 78, second best in their conference. They played K-State and Oklahoma. Army, of course, played Notre Dame not that long ago. They got absolutely pounded 49-14. And when Tulane toppled Navy 35-0 a couple of weeks back, they held Navy to 100 yards rushing on 35 carries. I noticed this today at VSiN.com. When you go to betting picks, I thought Zach Cohen got creative in this is a good bet in my opinion. Tulane money line and UNLV plus 10.5 on an alternate point spread parlay that pays currently plus 107. You might be able to find a couple pennies more than that. Isn't that a good bet?
Yeah, that's strong. I don't mind that. I'm concerned about the coach out the door thing and how listless they were in that performance against Memphis, and they got gashed on the ground. Well, hello, here comes Army, right? Daly. Daly's 127.5, his rushing yard prop. But I also like no score in the first 5.5 minutes. Army has 4 touchdown drives of 10-plus minutes this year. And you know what they're going to do. So can you slow them down? And if they got received to start the game, be a thing of beauty. But I'm concerned about where Summerall's at. But certainly the track record, though, and what they did against Navy, and how he was only allowed to combine 9 points against the option. But going to be cold.
I know.
It's going to be big. Let's see if the Tulane can handle the elements, and it's come down a little bit and flipped, but I still like Tulane. I could be wrong. What say you? Total's tough. I don't know what to do with the total.
I would only
I'm scared off the SOS. Army played one of the worst schedules in the
I would
country.
Look under. That's the only way I would look at it, but I don't think I'm going to bet it, actually. In the other game, how about Western Kentucky Jacks? I know you have a bet on this game.
Yeah.
But quarterback Tyler Huff, he's going to be a game-time decision here.
Yeah, it's come down now. I guess he was okay. I was told he was okay. But this is a problem. 35 points per game. They've won 7 of their last 8. They have a great rushing attack. Mm-hmm. Western Kentucky stinks against the run.
That's exactly right.
Stinks against the run. They're going to run all over them, but got to have the quarterback here. I mean, that would be a stunner.
He threw for 2,000-plus yards and ran for almost 1,200. And again, Adam Burke at VSiN.com made a great case for the under. If he plays, he's going to be compromised, right? The last week it closed 62.5. Right now, about 58, I think.
Yeah. Are we ready? Get ready to fire up the app. Check out that news. That game goes an hour early, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Playoffs right around the corner, NFL, college. Give yourself a betting edge with a VSiN Pro subscription. Every best bet, every host, every guest. Check out the leaderboard. Mitch, 14-4 run. Nice call on Goff, though, Mitch. Bad job. Power ratings, better ratings. Steve Makinen betting systems and the splits from DraftKings and Circa. Start betting smarter today as little as $9.99. See everything you have to up your betting game. Join the team. Let's do it. VSiN.com/subscribe. Great gift idea as well.
We'll dive into the NFL up next. Two of the best defenses in the league over recent weeks meet on Sunday. No joke. You could have given me like 5 guesses. I would have whiffed on every one of them. We'll tell you the teams in the game coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. Here we go with games on the schedule this Sunday in the National Football League. First game up, Paulie, Browns at the Steelers. They just played 2 weeks ago. We have another game in this segment we're going to talk about. They just played 2 weeks ago, Cardinals and the Seahawks. I don't like it when the NFL does this. Yep. But you saw what happened in that primetime game. It was in the snow. 24-19 final score. Cleveland got them. Now, in that game, remember, we talked about this leading into it. Russell Wilson's passing yards prop was in the 170s. He threw for 270. And right now, it's currently as low as 227.5. What do you make of that number?
I love everything over with Wilson. We'll talk about Pickens in a second. I love the Steelers to get it done here. It could be a popular survivor play. 9-3 against 3-9. Number one in takeaways. Hello, YOLO Winston. And just what happened on the road. Everyone saw that bad performance to lose the game. And what happened defensively. Cleveland hasn't swept the Steelers since 1988, and they've lost 20 in a row in Pittsburgh in the regular season. Tim Couch, the last time to do it in 2003. I'm taking out the playoff game when Baker got him. You get Highsmith back. I just think that the Steelers are going to get revenge here and have a big game, and Wilson has been cooking. And what they're going to do offensively. You saw what Bo Nix did. You know, the issues that Cleveland has defensively, and it goes back to last year. Why are they so bad on the road? So I don't think they're going to get stops. And I think Pittsburgh gets the cover here. So
Jameis's prop is 249.5. That's the low point in this game. Other books might be a little bit higher. He only threw for 219 against the Steelers, but he had the 497 against a good Denver defense last week. He had 395 3 weeks ago and 334 2 weeks before that. So it's 49.5. Lowest book I can find on him. Take a wild guess.
Here we go.
What Jameis is to throw an INT.
Now, Love got there last night. That was we took the no, plus 140. He got up to 180. I couldn't believe it, plus 120. So you're taking on the defense that has the most takeaways in the league. Mm-hmm. Minus 240.
Oh, you're right there. Yeah, I saw earlier this morning it was minus 235.
What's Kirk Cousins? Did you look? The Vikings lead the league in interceptions.
I'll get it for you.
Kirk has nothing on the ball, so this is the Tampa days. This is right up. We're getting close because he was $3 in the heyday when the 1 year he had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions with the Bucs.
Give me a number that you would take on Winston not to throw one.
I don't. No.
It's plus 175 on the no at DraftKings.
No.
Cousins is minus 165 to throw one.
That's it.
That's the number, yeah.
Well, maybe they pull him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's a chance he doesn't even play the full game.
Vikings 18 interceptions on the league on the season. That's not going to go well.
You brought up Survivor. I'm very curious. Like 47 people here at Circa still have him out of the 52. How many of those people say, I got to keep him for Christmas or another game? You're at home in a revenge spot against the Cleveland Browns. You just lost to him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
If we were still alive,
yeah,
this would be our play.
I agree. I can't kill you for that. That's up. So now we're going with the best bet. Now this has won 7 in a row. Since the quarterback change, it's been deep shots to Pickens. Pickens' longest reception over 7 games in a row. Let's make it 8. Shop it. There's 26.5. There's a 27 at DK. There's a 28.5 as well. But Pickens' longest receptions, we'll call it 27.5 on Sunday. That's the G-Bank best bet, and it's brought to you by... It is G-Bank, the official bank of VSiN, the G-Bank Visa signature card, your best bet, delivering a 1% cashback rewards on eligible gaming transactions and 2% on all other eligible transactions. For more info, head to VSiN.com/G-Bank, VSiN.com/G-Bank, subject to credit approval.
Seahawks are playing at the Cardinals. Again, they just played 2 weeks ago. Seattle got them 16-6 in that game. Now, how about this? This is what the game I was talking about before the break. The Seahawks have allowed 14.7 points per game in their last 3 games. That's the best mark in the entire NFL. I knew that. I did not know this about Arizona. They have only allowed 15 points per game in their last 3 games. That's the second best right behind Seattle. It goes deeper than that. Arizona has also allowed the fewest yards per game over the last 3 games. Seattle has allowed the second fewest. And both teams are top 3 in yards per play allowed on defense in that same span. And there is one book here in town that has South Point. Credit to them. They never go to juice. It's always like 3 minus 110. That's it. We're not moving the juice. They have that. Other books have it like 3. If you want the Seahawks plus 120, other books are minus 2.5. Don't you like Seattle in this game?
A tough call. I know they've dominated Arizona as well. I mean, this run that they've had and how strong they have been defensively. I have to go under after what transpired in the last game. No one could move the ball. And we'll get to it later, but Ladder McBride, back-to-back games with 12 catches. His targets, 3 of the last 4 games, 12, 15, 11. Keep going to him. So I'd say under and everything McBride related for props.
All right, so here's a bet that I made before the show started. I'll tie in this game with the game that we just talked about a minute ago, Browns-Steelers, and I'll throw in one more guy. So I'm with you. McBride has to be the guy. He just absolutely crushed Seattle for way more than 100 yards 2 weeks ago. And you can find a better number than I got. But again, like a little pizza money here, I did a 3-player parlay to get at least 100 yards. McBride's one of them.
Bowers?
No, because it wasn't available when I looked.
Okay.
I'm going to go to war with Jerry Jeudy again.
Okay.
And the guy that you've been a high on the entire year going against like the worst pass defense in football in a revenge game for Calvin Ridley.
Yes. I had that written down as well.
So McBride, Ridley, and Jeudy all day have 100-plus yards. I got it at plus 51.65. Evidently, we don't have FanDuel here in town, but FanDuel, it's like plus $66. Or let me say that over. 66 to 1 on that. That's worth it to me.
Mm-hmm. It's a good angle.
These guys have been smoking hot. The targets are going to be there. I'll take my chances with that.
Yeah, McBride to get 100 is plus 260 in some spots. 70 yards, $1.20. Ridley, 70 yards, even money, 60 minus 150. And I got to go back to my guy, Jonnu Smith. 50 yards is $1.20. You kidding me? He's 3-1 to get 80 yards. Look at the targets.
It's another one.
It's crazy.
Yep, totally agree.
11, 9, 6. Oh, no, 11, 9, 6. 113, 87, 101. Those are the receiving. Nothing but Jonnu Smith action since Tua came back.
Yep. Sunday night, Chargers are at the Chiefs. They played all the way back in Week 4. KC got him 17-10 in Los Angeles. The Chargers took a 10-0 lead in the first quarter, never scored again. In that game, the Chiefs closed 6.5 or 7-point road favorites. Mahomes, here's the big boy, 34-5 straight up in his career against the AFC West.
Yeah.
That number is 11-2 in December. One of those losses last year on Christmas Day against the Raiders. And I'll give you something that's going to blow your mind. I did not realize this until earlier in the week. Justin Herbert has 1 INT on the year.
Yes.
Hasn't thrown one since week 2.
Yep.
He's minus 120, minus 125
Crazy.
not to throw one.
We talked about it Monday night against Baltimore. It was plus money. How could that be? Absolutely. Good call. 3-18 against the Chiefs since 2014. You mentioned, I think, earlier in the week when the tiebreakers, yes, if the Chiefs win, it's over. It's their 9th straight division title. But you're on this horrible run, 0-6 ATS. Are you ever going to cover a game? You know, the 14 in a row, 1-score game, that's our NFL record. No team, by the way, has won a Super Bowl with at least a 6-game losing streak, ATS. But
ever, ATS.
Yes. So we'll see if they break that, too, and if they can cover Sunday night. Again, they'll probably win by 3 points again, and wrap up a division. But I just think you'll get a big performance from Kansas City after what happened. You get the red zone stuff figured out. It's ridiculous.
I know.
There are too many weapons.
Do
now
they
that
have
you have
to,
Hopkins, you shouldn't be kicking field goals.
Did you see this? UCLA is moving on from Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Should KC kick the tires on him again? Say, hey, pal.
I'd bring him in, yeah.
I think I would. I really would.
I trust him. Did a good job with the Vikings. Good job with the Chiefs, yes.
I mean, the stuff, that's where like creativity really started was with Bieniemy. Like inside the red zone and short yardage. It was awesome. Very creative. The ring around Rosie out here against Las Vegas, all that stuff. I know they're rubbing opponents' faces in it, but too bad for them. Ladd McConkey is banged up, but I think he's probably going to go at this point, the way it seems. I know KC, they have some guys coming back as well.
Big Pacheco game, as Charge talked about yesterday.
Over 15.5, right, when he was on the show. And the backup tight end, who I've been riding, Noah Gray.
Yes.
He's been really good last couple of weeks. Now, he is bumped up to 26.5 receiving yards. Go to that one more time?
Yes.
I don't mind that.
Yep.
He's turning into a, consistent target, enough so I think where you can trust him from Mahomes, where he's going to get fed the ball and, that's a low number that I can get with. So this is a tricky week, though, trying to find 5 games in a contest.
It is.
6 teams are on bye.
Yes.
And we have a lot of dog matchups. So
I actually took the Giants in one of them.
I don't blame you.
I had to fade Card as a road favorite. But,
yeah.
And another week with Locke and getting some more reps. But, it's a tough card.
Yeah, we'll go over a bunch of angles and trends a little bit later on in the program, historical numbers with these teams. Win-lose up next. Paulie's going to recap last night's betting action. This is under the radar, but they defeated their opponent for the 15th straight time last night. Find out the 2 teams next here on VSiN.
You spoke, we listened. Introducing the all-new VSiN Watch app. Now, you can watch and listen to VSiN expert analysis live wherever you are. Missed a show? No problem. Catch replays of VSiN's full lineup at any time. View highlights sorted by sport. Or use the search feature to find specific teams and topics you're looking for. And the best part? It's free for a limited time. Download the VSiN Watch app today. Available now on the App Store and Google Play. And join us on the Sports Betting Network. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Another prime time game with big tickets cashing at insane numbers. First, we start with the move Green Bay from 6 down to 3. Very good. Montgomery first touchdown, 5-1. Jacobs 3 touchdowns, 12-1. Patrick 2 touchdowns, 35-1 at Caesars. A listener had 50-1. He sent it in. Congratulations. A big scoop there on Patrick to have 2 scores. Someone parlayed that? Did you find it? Are you telling me someone had that parlay?
Well, either that or somebody went back and did the math on what one book would have offered on Jacobs to score 3 and Patrick to score 2. I'll try to get it here. It was $100 paid like it was stupid how much it paid.
Wow. Goff to have 3 touchdowns plus 450. NBA winner with the Rockets and Warriors under 225.5 to 218.5. No sweat. Detroit college hoops plus 265 on the money line and Lamar plus 320. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. It's back, baby. And Mitch can do the video again. The Pop-Tart Bowl and the third flavor revealed. Can't wait. And what'd you do? You open it and you put something on it? The Pop-Tart?
What I did when I was younger?
Yes.
Yeah, so, okay, you open it up. You cut you cut it right down the middle with a knife. This is after you've warmed it up in the toaster, of course. And then you put in butter. And by the way, they have like 100 different kinds of flavored butter now. I can't imagine how good they are.
Yeah.
And so then you just let the butter seep all the way through with the Pop-Tart. To me, you went graham crackers and milk.
Yeah.
I'd go warm Pop-Tart butter and milk. And that's how I would eat it and drink the milk along with it. Oh, it's a thing of beauty.
Got to do the video again before the game. There it is.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that again. I was shamed last year because of the toaster.
Oh, stop it. Animals out there. We'll get to that in a second. Here, how about a true dog whisperer? Give me the volume all the way up. Look at this. The guy coming in, and all the dogs are ready to go to bed. There's a lot of dogs, a lot of puppies. And here we go. He sings them to sleep. The true dog whisperer. They know it's bedtime, and that puts them to sleep.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, how good is that? Look at it. Lights out.
They all find their spots.
They get their spot. Andre, put that up. Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Oh, there it is. They're out. There it is. They all lay down. They're ready to go. After he sings to them. That's great.
That is amazing.
It is. That is phenomenal. How about this? You got the guy washing the windows, and the dog's coming in. And the dog's in the apartment, right, in the condo, and he's got his toy. He goes, hey, you want to play catch? How you doing, buddy? The guy's watching the window. The dog can't figure it out. He's like, what's the problem? Come on in. Throw my toy around. Let's play fetch. And again, I'm washing the windows. I can't come in. I'm
play
stuck
catch,
here.
yeah.
Again, look at the dog. Look at the tail. He's so excited coming up.
I don't get it.
Can't figure it out.
Grab it through the window and throw it. I'll jump out 14 floors and I'll go get it for you.
Yep. Let me do the video first, Luke. Lose some. This was at the Clipper game the other night. Tom Arnold's sitting there. A listener sent this in. The guy's got he's barefoot in the front row. We're living in a society. The guy's in the front row eating food. He's like a pretzel or something. Yeah, make yourself comfortable, right? He's barefoot. He took his shoes off. He's got no socks on. He's sitting there in the front row of an NBA game barefoot.
Okay, now that might compare to somebody who does it on an airplane.
Oh, that's bad.
Because think about how much money these tickets are. He's sitting on the wood.
Yeah.
Right? So you're right. Absolutely right. They have floor seats. Don't mind me, guys. I'm going to let the dogs out here for a little while.
Come on, man. One lose some, the Rockets. +3 to -4. Golden State sat people. Didn't matter. Bad job by the Rockets. We're having a good year. And one bad beat. Keep an eye on this. We almost had it. Goff was 15-1 anytime touchdown.
Oh, boy.
How tough was that? But now, late in the season, every yard matters. Let's keep an eye on stuff like that. Because now we're going balls out. So I think it takes, if you can find big prices on Goff and some of these, look what Love decided to do.
I know.
Look at Goff took off and ran a couple times.
You brought that up on the show yesterday.
Yeah, I took a look at that.
15-1. He scored last night for those who missed it. And they're like, hold on a second here. Let's go look at the replay.
Expedited review.
Yep.
Yeah, tough. Take your betting to the next level. Playing the ponies on First Bet. From Del Mar and Gulfstream, the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. First Bet has you covered. Sign up firstbet.com. That's the number one. Promo code VSiN200. Claim a 20% rebate for your first 60 days up to $200. Head to firstbet.com. VSiN.com today. Go get them.
All right, so, yeah, but did you mention this, by the way? The Rockets lost, and in that loss, I mean, I know you said with the point spread,
right.
They've lost 15 straight to Golden State.
No idea. I had no idea.
I had absolutely none.
Wow.
And I found it, by the way.
It's regular season.
I think it is regular season. It goes back before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, people broke this down last night. $100 on Patrick to score 2 and Jacobs to score 3 would have been $1.2 million.
Come on.
And here's a ticket of somebody who did it. They put $5 on it. They had 1,250 to 1 odds. Paid 6,200 on a $5 bet. But I mean,
can you imagine an anytime parlay? Would we throw in Goff in there? If you had it with Chick, can you imagine? Oh, he's in.
Well, that was 15 to 1 on its own?
Just on his own. Down at the 1. Something to monitor and look at moving forward. That's right.
Where are you at with Detroit overall? I got a bet here I want to throw at you.
I can't. Number 1, they have to get the 1 seed. It's imperative. Number 2, I don't think they can beat Philadelphia. Number 3.
With these injuries, I agree.
Yeah. Number 3, you're going to play a hell of a team right off the bat. To think Minnesota or Green, they're going to have to get round 3 coming up here. But Green Bay or Minnesota with like 12, 13 wins is a wild card. Hello.
ESPN has Detroit, updated numbers here, 79.7% to get the 1 seed. They have Philly at 15.3%.
You want to take a little Minnesota, 6-1 to win the division? I mean, the Vikings have a doable schedule.
No, here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Circa, I wish more books had offered this, a yes-no on these prices. Circa offers yes-no on basically everything. They have the Lions at plus 117 to win the NFC. Now, because of all these futures I have on this team and the injuries, and I'm concerned about that, and the fact that they might not get the 1 seed, I took some earlier in the week at minus 150. They moved the no to minus 147 after last night. So you can bet minus 147 right now on the Lions not to win the NFC. Don't you think that's a good bet?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a tough path.
And 13 defensive players overall on IR.
It's not time to panic yet.
If they did not have
played well, and you remember the Goff interception, the short field stopped at the 30, and then just don't allow the big play to Watson, which that was a big ticket too. Watson had lead receiving yards. I missed what that was, but that was a big ticket as well that cashed.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. If they didn't have the injuries, and I get it, all teams go through this, not to this extent, obviously. But if Hutchinson never got hurt and some of the other key guys there, I would never have ever considered hedging. I loved this team going into the year, and without injuries, I would be adding more probably on the Lions. But because of the schedule overall, because of the Eagles never losing, same thing with the Vikings, and, all these guys who are banged up, and who knows if they're ever going to be able to come back and get it back together or not. I'm a little afraid of this team, losing in the first round against a really good team or losing eventually to Philadelphia. And I'll give you another one on Green Bay. That team is so volatile, in my opinion. They can beat anybody in this conference, or they can lose to what we would consider a weaker team in the first round.
And Atlanta? A Tampa Bay right off the bat?
A Tampa Bay could get them.
Arizona, Seattle? Yeah. It comes down to love, too.
Yeah, if they don't, because they're not going to win their division. So if they have to travel and take on, let's say, the team from the NFC West, absolutely losable game.
Mm-hmm. I'd say the same thing about the Vikings. I still can't trust Darnold.
I don't disagree.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is a monster. And we're going to...
Yeah, and you got to worry about Jefferson and... Yep.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield going to Lambeau in cold weather. That would be dangerous. I think
you'd be going there. They win the division.
Oh, if they win the division, good point.
You're going
good point.
There.
I think Green Bay, if because Evans is banged up this week, but if they're close to healthy, that is a super tricky game. And we'll find out. Green Bay's playing at Seattle next week. And I don't know, maybe the Seahawks they've recently gotten a lot of guys back on defense. They're getting more guys back this week. That unit's playing dynamite football. I mean, what if they're really impressive and Love is bad and writing could be on the wall?
One observation, they have to do a better job and be consistent with calling the pick and the OPI.
Oh, yeah.
As I know, LaFleur lost his mind, and he thought the same thing happened, which the big penalty took away 1st and goal, and Green Bay had to settle for a field goal, and then Detroit did it, and he lost his mind.
That's right.
But are you going to call it or not? Because that rub play, a lot of teams do it, and sometimes they let it go, other times they call it. It's got to be consistent on that league-wide.
Yep. Professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the show coming up next. We'll get his best bets in the conference title games in college football next here on VSiN.
Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard share their knowledge of sports, gambling, and pop culture on Follow the Money.